Hey, welcome to Packaged Opinions. This is episode number one, brand new show. We've been doing nothing but practice episodes to try to get ready for this. Super excited. My name is Garrett King. This is my counterpart, Ashley Ornelas. We've been working together for the better part of a decade, and we've built more than 20 years in experience across consumer goods and retail, in pet, in e-commerce, etc. We've got a fair amount of laps around the track, and we're starting this show to talk about some of the most interesting things in the marketplace that we see, taking a look at the headlines, giving our stance on them, and trying to bring some level of unique perspective and also make it interesting and fun for y'all. So anyway, Ashley, anything you would add?
No, just here to give our opinions on cool shit.
Yeah, very cool. I'm excited to get to do this. And I don't know, I think my first question for you before we get started is, how do you feel about our level of preparation today versus our first practice episode? Like, I feel we've come a long way. I feel ready, and we were not ready.
We definitely were not ready, but we've had a lot of fun. I feel ready.
Me too.
And I think we're just going to continue to learn. So, open to feedback along the way.
I agree. Cool. Okay, so let's get into the first question. This one's for you. I know you've done some research on what the latest with Target is. Will you give us the details?
Yeah. So Target's up to some really cool stuff, and they recently announced their strategic growth plan and what they want to achieve by 2030. Okay, hold on. Pause for a second. We used to talk about what we wanted to achieve by 2025, right? Like 2025 felt like the future. And now we're talking about 2030, which to me is just wild. Just crazy. But Target has plans to grow their business by $15 billion by 2030, which is a huge number for them. And they have three things that they're going to do to try to achieve that, which I think is pretty interesting. The first one is that they want to focus on bringing consumers on trend and affordable selections through different styles, newness, and most importantly, value. So they're hyper focused on what they are offering to their shoppers from an assortment perspective. And then they are definitely reinforcing the experience that their shoppers are having and trying to make it seamless across all touch points, so physical, digital, and in-store. And then the last one is not really relevant for today's conversation, but just focus on reliable and speed delivery and making sure their inventory is in a good place and improving their supply chain. So all great. But the one we're going to focus on today, which I think is the most exciting, is the point number one, which is bringing consumers on trend and affordable assortments at value. And so they're doing this in a number of ways, which I think is really fascinating. The first way that they're doing this is through their private label. Target has, I don't know if you know this, but Target has a ridiculous number of private label brands. Did you know this? It's crazy.
They have some, and some of those private label brands are so dialed in, like their snacks in particular. I love store brand snacks from Target. Crazy awesome flavors.
Yeah. You love snacks and you love private label snacks. I know this about
Yeah, that's
you.
true. Yeah.
But you'll be excited to hear what they're up to when it comes to food and beverage and private label. But nonetheless, they are definitely diving in and just primarily focusing on private label and expanding their assortment. So they're committing to launching 600 new items in food and beverage this year. 600, which is a lot of items in food and beverage this year. And they're doing a lot of really cool things within that. So they're partnering with chefs. They're looking at what the latest and greatest trends are and what people are looking for in snacks, which obviously is more healthy variety, things like that. And then they're really doubling down on all of their in-store apparel private labels, their pet private labels, and their home good private label. So doing a lot of cool stuff there. They've also recently totally revamped their Up and Up packaging. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but they're definitely on trend with the packaging. And I think we should link it in here because I think it looks really good. But their Up and Up packaging is now minimalist design, very vibrant colors, clean, bold fonts, and really just, like I said, on trend with 2025. If you see it, let me know what you think. I know you're looking. Do you see it?
Yeah, I'm sure you see my eyes moving.
Yeah.
This looks great.
Isn't it crazy?
They have done a really, really nice job. They've kept some of the visual design that they've used, like the arrow that goes up and to the right, but a lot of flat design, 2 or 3 colors at max, really simple. Frankly, I think one of the best packages I've seen on this whole page is the travel toothbrush. It's a nice looking travel toothbrush.
Okay.
And also the baby wipes, the cute little water droplets. This is really nice.
Yeah. I know. It's great. I think it's really cool. I think they're doing a really great job. And quite frankly, again, just trendy. They're really living up to what they're trying to do, which is be on trend and deliver what people want, which I think is really neat. So love the new packaging. Congrats, Target, on Up and Up. It looks great. The other thing that they're doing is partnerships with really well-known brands. So they partnered with Champion this year, which is the sports brand wear. Are you familiar with Champion? Cool. They partnered with Champion this year to really double down on their athletic attire. So it's a big category that they're focusing on. It's a big growth lever for them. And with Champion, they are promising to deliver on that value that they're hitting on, which is 500 new items in athleisure, all of which are guaranteed to be under a $40 price point. So really big for them, which I think is cool. Another thing that they're doing is they're partnering with Warby Parker, which I love Warby Parker, and Warby Parker has been on fire lately, so I think this is really smart for them. But they're continuing on this whole like shop within a shop. So they're going to do pop-ups within Target for Warby Parker, which I think is really neat, and really just enhance the overall experience of their shoppers in store, which I think is cool. And then the last, I guess, partnership that they're doing is with Disney. So they are really leveraging kind of collaborations with their private label. So they're doing a collab with Disney and Marvel to do children's bedding and decor to kind of piggyback off of the latest movies that are launching. So I think they're doing cool shit. And I think like they take a really unique approach to, again, like private label collaborations, which is something I hadn't seen done before.
What a laundry list of cool stuff and really
Yeah.
well detailed. I think my first question for you is like, I just want to hit a couple of those ones. Warby Parker, number one.
Yeah.
Are they going to offer the same or similar assortment that you'd go to in a Warby Parker's DTC environment, stores, etc., or is it Target specific SKUs that maybe hit a different price point, etc.? Do we know?
It's not. It is truly like their full assortment, just
Wow.
stores in a store. So think what they did with Ulta when they took all of like Ulta's products and put it in beauty.
Yeah.
Similar to that. Just cool stuff.
Well, and you know they're gonna merchandise it really well, right? Like that's a real strength of theirs. Okay, I think that's cool. Another one on Champion. I think Champion is like such a classic American sportswear brand. I have several of their hoodies. I
Yeah.
think like the reverse weave style hoodie that they make, I think is really nice.
Yeah.
And it strikes me as, I don't know, that's like a sportswear brand that like hasn't really popped in terms of trendiness in a while when many other classic sportswear brands that we have, you know, seen for decades have. I'll be interested to see like what it does for Champion's business too. So, because I'm, you know, like the distribution certainly wouldn't hurt.
I was going to ask you on that one, Champion. I was thinking in my head when I saw that partnership, I was really surprised with that one too. Like that's one I haven't really, that's a brand that hasn't been that relevant in a while.
Yeah.
And I was curious if I was missing anything. Didn't know if you knew of anything. If Warby Parker is up and up, Disney is obviously well established. There's got to be something we don't know about Champion.
You know, to me, when I think about Champion, they have that kind of intrinsic like connection with American sportswear. I think that's it. They also, I think, have had a super successful partnership with that very cool menswear apparel company, Todd Snyder. Like Todd Snyder has been doing very cool Champion tracksuits and hoodies and things like that for years in like really interesting colors. Think like Champion and maybe like Vuori got together like colorways that are faded in the sun or what have you, like a faded eggplant or like a turmeric or what have you. Different than like the basics you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
At least to my knowledge, I haven't seen anything out of Champion where they're like like collaborating with hot streetwear brands or like getting a new creative director where they're taking really wild risks like North Face X Gucci or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think Target is necessarily the retailer that will like steer them in that direction, but maybe this is the start of something. I'm very curious.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
All of these efforts feel very much like they're going after Amazon. Like it feels like an attack. Just focusing on private label, focusing on smaller price points, wide assortments, things like that. I don't know. Do you think it'll work for them?
As a retailer, they've had an interesting run the last few years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that Target tends to shine at is their ability to tell stories and differentiate. They consistently have something interesting when you walk into a Target, where I think many other retailers don't necessarily have that same level of stuff. Like there's a reason they have the cultural cachet of Target. And what was it the dollar aisle or the $2 aisle or something where you would
Five and below.
Yeah, there you go. This was kind of a cultural mainstay. So I think they're really good at this kind of thing. I think they're very creative. Check me on this one. My assumption is that Target as a retailer tends to fare better when discretionary income in the United States is in a healthy place, and they tend to have bumpier times when discretionary income or like consumer sentiment is not as good. Is that fair?
Fair.
So look, we got a lot of economic volatility right now. It's a fascinating time
Yeah.
to be a human being in the world. Understatement of the century. or
Yeah.
maybe overstatement of the century. I don't know. Anyway, they're doing some really interesting things. I'm curious to see where it goes. I don't have a strong stance that it's going to make a huge difference in their business, but at the same time, I think efforts like this, they do build cachet. And also, I'm looking at your notes right now. Which of these is a better sub-brand private label name? Door number 1, Pillow Fort. Door number 2, Dealworthy.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
great. I love them both.
Both of them are both of them I said are gross. Both of them are amazing.
Yeah.
But actually, fun fact, did you know Dealworthy, in conjunction with one of Walmart's private labels, were the 2 fastest growing private label brands in celebratory.
How did this happen?
I don't know. They were the 2 fastest private label growth brands in 2024. So they're huge.
Man.
But I'm not a fan of Dealworthy. I think
Not for you.
I think
Okay.
I like Pillow Fort better.
Pillow Fort's funnier, for sure.
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's fun. I dig it. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, really good one on Target. I guess my last question for you is Warby Parker. Is it a good move for them?
Okay. This is such a loaded question. I think Warby Parker is on fire. They recently released their earnings for 2024, and they are crushing it. So right now, Warby Parker announced 15.2% growth versus a year ago. Huge for them. Active customers increased by 8%. Like, they're already growing a ton of customers before even their partnerships with Target, which I think is great. And their net costs are down 50%. So they're doing something right today. So I think for them, it only increases the number of eyeballs that they get on their brand, increases traffic, increases awareness, and supports their growth that they're seeing today. I don't know. I think like Target is such a bad word right now. So like I don't know if this partnership is a good idea for Warby Parker or not, but I do think in general the experience will be cool. The shop within a shop will be cool. Again, it hits on like the consumer sentiment that people are looking for experiences and something new when they walk into a store. So I think Warby Parker will really benefit from having the extra traffic. What about you?
Here's my stance. I'm
Okay.
putting it on wax, and then we'll find out in 6 months or 12 months or what have you where I was right.
Okay.
I think this is good for top line. This is a nice growth move because they get more distribution. People will see them more. I think they will be considered more for folks that need eyeglasses. I do think it will be a little bit margin dilutive, and probably no surprise, right? Like they're no longer do they command the full retail price, but the retailer, takes a cut of that.
Fair.
What I think will be really interesting is like there are direct to consumer brands out there that actually view it as a more profitable move to go into retail because of how high their shipping and logistics costs are. Like if it's really expensive to ship something to the end person for a product that's light and easily packable like eyeglasses, I wouldn't expect Warby Parker's shipping costs to the end consumer are super cumbersome, which makes me think that, yeah, I guess that's my original stance. I think it's going to be good for growth. I think they'll take a little bit of margin dilution, but ultimately I think they'll be happy with the move.
Isn't part of Warby Parker's whole design is that they ship you, I don't know, like 5 frames or something to try on, and then you send them back and you choose whichever one you like? So maybe this is another way to just streamline that experience.
That's a really good point. You try it out, like, they have a handful of their SKUs, whatever the assortment is, in the retailer. You have to do that, and then they cut down on logistics costs of shipping unused frames back and forth. That's really interesting.
I don't know.
Huh. Okay.
See.
Yeah, it may actually be less of a profit drain than I thought for that exact reason. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. That was a really good one. My next one for you is I want to run a couple of things by you that I saw out of Home Depot that I thought was really interesting.
Okay, let's talk because Home Depot's doing cool stuff.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so this is all about Home Depot trying to make further inroads with a very specific subset of American consumers, and that is the professional market. So, a few actions that they've taken over the last 18 months. Number one, they've hired a new executive vice president of the professional channel. And this person comes from rebuilding the pro business for Home Depot Canada. So he's got some experience doing it. Second, they're increasing their distribution and logistics footprint specifically for professionals. In 2024, they opened up 4 new DCs that are pro specific. Think really big stuff like lumber. A couple other things. 3, they've updated their associate app that I believe is called Sidekick for people that work in Home Depot stores every day to better help pro customers like a contractor. And one thing that they have, which I thought was kind of neat, was a feature in it called pipeline management, which basically, say you're a store associate and you walk up to customer X who looks like a contractor or whatever it is, and you're trying to help them figure out all the components that they're going to need for a kitchen remodel. The software is built to where if they have already bought something like, I don't know, kitchen cabinets or pulls for a kitchen cabinet to open it, they will have grouped that purchase and any other purchase that they think could be related to a kitchen remodel already within the software seamlessly. So you can try to recommend or have an easier time recommending what else this person might need to finish off this job on remodeling a kitchen. And then last thing, they've made some updates to their loyalty program to make it simpler for professional consumers. So my question for you is, do you buy it? And like, do you think, is this going to work? Like, I was initially unsure how big the professional market is, but maybe it's a really savvy move. What do you think?
Okay. I mean, what a way to tap into loyalty for high value customers. If you get a contractor to come in just on repeat, those baskets are so big. Not to mention friends of friends, contractor friends of friends, like you grow your business real quick, I think. And if you can make it a seamless experience for them where they can come in and, to your point, have this app that tells them everything that they need or everything they might have forgotten or ways to obviously improve the things that they've already thought through. I mean, that's a huge customer experience improvement, I think. But I'm also curious, question for you. I've gone into Home Depot a lot lately, recently purchased a home, you did too. And there's a whole half of the store that is specific to Pro, I think, like Home Depot Pro. So is this actually new for them, or are they just expanding this into a bigger way?
Good question. You know, I'm not too proud to say like all the Home Depot trips I've made in the last 18 months, the store, regardless of any changes, it feels very professional to me. Like I'm just a regular guy, you know, I don't know how to do all this stuff. So it can be intimidating at times, but my guess is that they've done the math, and to your point, the basket size and the frequency coming from like their ultra heavy users is going to be disproportionately centered on folks that do this for a living. And they feel like they can make real inroads. And a couple of numbers that I think could maybe say that they're going in the right direction. For the first time in 2 years, Home Depot had positive comps in the fourth quarter of last year. That's not nothing. They grew 0.8% total and then 1.3% in the US. And what they call their pro cohorts, all of them saw positive comps during the fourth quarter as well, according to the company. So I don't know, maybe this is like a, who knows, correlation versus causation. There's a lot in the sauce on that one. But they're making more they're making more investments in having a bigger, better pro business, and their business is growing. It's got to be a part of it.
Yeah, I agree. I also think, talking about economic pressures and all the things I'm hearing, and I don't know this firsthand, but I'm hearing a lot of people are starting to do remodels or just building in general instead of purchasing, because it's like less scary for them. And so if there's more people that are doing remodels and building, and you have more contractors in the marketplace, this is a huge win for them.
I completely agree. I think it's probably no stretch to say that, with house prices where they are, there may be some semblance of a supply-demand imbalance. One would think that building more homes would probably have a positive impact, and I would anticipate that there's demand for it.
Yeah. Okay, pro tip for listeners.
Yeah.
We're talking about pros at Home Depot. I am painting right now. So I have been doing many trips to Home Depot. And what I've seen recently is that the pro side of the store is definitely booming, and there's a lot of people. So today I went in, and there was, not today, actually earlier this week, I went in and there was a line, like the longest line I've seen of contractors, like purchasing lumber and paint and all of these things. And in my head, I was thinking, this is the perfect time to go to Home Depot if you have no idea what you're doing. Like, walk in at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., when all the contractors are there buying their stuff, and you can get professional help for free. You just like start conversations with the professionals on the other side of the store.
Surrounded by professionals that are experts in their craft. Hey, can you tell me what's the right putty for, solving holes in my wall?
I needed a paintbrush for line watching. I got my answer.
Yeah, my guess is that they were very helpful.
Very helpful. Very helpful. So for anyone, Monday mornings, 8 to 9, full of contractors willing to help you.
Cool. Very cool. One more. I want your opinion on something. Like, I was trying to think of other businesses that have a similar model, catering to super frequent consumers, super heavy users, folks who buy a lot from them. The closest comp I could come up with was airline loyalty programs. Are there any other businesses you could think of that would do something like this? Like, I don't know of any other specialty retail stores that specifically cater or have a segment of their business towards the professional channel. Maybe beauty supply?
Yeah, I think you're spot on with airlines for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a United girl. I think you're a Delta guy, if I remember correctly. Maybe that's
Alaska
changed.
now.
Oh, you're Alaska now out of
I mean,
Seattle.
look,
That
I'm
makes
in
sense.
Seattle.
Yeah, yeah. But at one point you were a Delta guy, and I think it's the same thing. Actually, I do have another hotels like Marriott.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like the platinum or the diamond lounge or what have you at the top floor of some of these Hiltons that have a lot of business travelers.
Yeah. But you also stay loyal because you want the next upgrade to whatever
Yeah.
it is that you're getting.
Okay, fun fact about this. I'm not too proud to admit it. One time, in order to get to the next level of status, it was December 29th, and I flew to Las Vegas, put $1 in the slot machine in the airport, and then got back on that plane that was flying right back to my house. That, like, all in the morning, just to hit the mileage that I needed to. And I had no reason to go to Las Vegas other than that was the cheapest flight that had the right amount of distance to hit those miles. I'm that guy.
Okay, I need to know, like, how much did you spend for the next tier?
It was under $300. I can confidently say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not worth the money at all.
No.
Like, it's totally not worth the money. Because that was earlier in my career too. So, I mean, I'm not flush with cash now, but it definitely wasn't then. Yeah, so stupid. So stupid.
Okay. Well,
Anyway.
loyalty is important to people, obviously.
Yeah, all right, clear. Okay. I got one more for you, and then we'll wrap this thing up. You want to hit buy with Prime?
Ooh, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I think this is super interesting, and I'm really not sure how I feel about it. Here's the situation. Amazon is working on offering their excellent logistics network to more and more direct-to-consumer brands and other retailers so that you can log in on site X. Let's use Adidas or Laura Mercier Cosmetics. And instead of going through their fulfillment, etc., you just can click Buy with Prime, and then it'll connect it to your Amazon account. Presumably, you get the free shipping because you're a Prime member, and you get it at an expedited shipping rate or shipping speed, again, because you're a Prime member. It appears that it's been available since 2022, but now you got a retailer that looks like they're getting more serious about it. And I think it comes at an interesting time. A couple of data points and then I'll stop and I want to get your take. 1, 2023 was the year that Amazon became the largest delivery carrier in the US, bigger than USPS, bigger than UPS, etc. This also may have some unique competitive benefits. Like, it could be really good for the direct-to-consumer shopper, because I don't know how many direct-to-consumer brands you buy things from, but I think the shipping's usually pretty slow. Like, they're not putting it on the fast plane. So on one hand, I think the positives of this is, like, an analyst from eMarketer called Sky Canavis said that this is an interesting way to differentiate from Temu, because it helps them skew more premium rather than less premium. And it may inoculate some of the risk of a seller leaving the Amazon third-party marketplace to go sell exclusively on Temu, whatever it may be. But the downsides, I don't know, does it like dilute the relationship and like the quality of the first-party data that Laura Mercier or Adidas would collect from somebody? Or does it make it harder to have like a meaningful connection with direct-to-consumer shoppers? That I don't know. What's your take? I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, I think this is interesting. I think I've used this a couple times. I don't know if you have. Have you?
No experience.
Okay. I've used it a couple times, and what I have found is most beneficial about it is that I can quickly log in and all of my information is there. So I don't have to put in my credit card, I don't have to put in my mailing address. And to your point, I get faster shipping and it's free shipping. So like the experience as a whole is so much easier. And I do think prevents bounce rate, like prevents people from walking away. As far as like the first party data and consumer data, I think a lot of these D2C brands are oftentimes giving you a discount for your first purchase if you're signing up for an email or text message or something of the sort. So I don't think they're losing out in any way. I actually think they do a really good job at giving discounts and giving incentives to give first party data, which then allows them to lead this like faster shipping initiative.
That's a really, really good point. You've totally convinced me. And it makes me wonder, well, let me put a perspective out there. 1, I don't think any direct-to-consumer brand is worried if somebody, instead of putting in their credit card when they check out, pays with PayPal or like Affirm or Klarna or anything. Like, it's fine. They have their email, they have their name, etc. Don't worry about it. So I don't think that's a problem. I guess my question for you is like, Do you ever see a situation in which Subscribe and Save would get ported over to this? Like in this situation of like Laura Mercier Cosmetics.
That's interesting.
I don't know.
That's very interesting. I don't know either. Yeah.
It would make sense for something that you, like makeup that you're going to want regularly.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see how the checkout process would be any different.
Yeah.
Like they just get your credit card information, right?
You
And they're
just
getting
run
it
it every month.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting. I think it does some good for Amazon too, and increasing Prime membership. For sure, especially as it becomes more widely adopted.
I agree with that. And one thing that I don't even know if it's operational now, but if it's not, I hope they add it someday, is I think one of the best deals in the whole credit card market is the Prime credit card. Do you have it?
I don't.
5% off everything you buy on Amazon.
Okay, well.
And it's free. There's no annual fee. Like, it's a really good deal.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
The amount of money I spend on Amazon is
right?
So
it's super, I mean, it's excellent. And then it comes back to your account in the form of points. And then like when you buy a book or new batteries or whatever, like you have points in there and it costs you nothing and you feel great about it. Like for all your little Amazon purchases. I'll be curious to see if they grandfather in that same 5% off or 5% back into purchases made with Prime if you use that credit card on like an Adidas.com. I don't know.
That's pretty big.
Nice, right? Save a little dough.
Yeah,
I would order more sneakers that way if I did.
For sure. I would. Yeah. Speaking of little perks, have you noticed that you can get credits on Amazon if you like slower your shipping speed or have multiple boxes delivered at once?
Are you doing that?
Yes. Do you know how many books I've bought?
Okay. So what does it do? Does it just give you like an extra $1 on your next purchase?
It literally gives you a credit, like one credit, and then after however, essentially an extra $1 or something.
Yeah.
So then after, I don't know, however many, I get shipments every day. So after a couple days, I get a free book. It's great.
That's slick. Okay. Tell you what, this is why people need to listen to this show because that's practical, useful information.
Yeah.
Slow shipping.
Pro tips. Slow shipping.
Slow shipping. Okay, you get money out of it. Cool. Okay, last question on this buy with Prime thing. If door number 1 is this is the next Apple Pay, and door number 2 is this is the next Fire Phone, which of these is closer to the truth 5 years from now? Yeah?
I think so.
Okay, I do too.
I use Apple Pay for everything. Sometimes I lose my wallet. I'm like, I don't need it. I don't have no idea where it is.
I was at my brother's bachelor party 2 weeks ago, and one of his friends came in and was like, I can't pay for that. And I was like, why not? He said, they don't accept tap to pay. I said, you don't have a credit card? Like you flew to this other destination and just your only payment method is your phone? It's like, yeah. Nice. It's that ubiquitous. Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah. When you ask the younger generations, like, how do you pay for things? And then they go like, and that's their symbol.
Like the whole, like, is this a phone or is this a phone? Yeah. Okay.
It's just like, here, we're tapping. Yeah. But I do it too. I'm guilty. My driver's license on my phone. My credit card's on my phone. I don't need anything.
Whoa. Are you is Colorado one of the states where you can use your driver's license on your phone?
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that when you go through TSA?
Mm-hmm.
In any state?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're flying from New York to Denver, you can use your Colorado driver's license on your phone.
So they say. I haven't tried it, but yes, so they say.
Yeah, okay. Let me know.
Yeah.
But carry a backup.
Okay, well, for sure.
Yeah, okay, cool. You get out, but you can't come back in. Yeah, okay. All right. I think that's it for today. You?
Yeah, I think so. I'm excited for our next one. I think we have some good topics to talk about.
Yeah, me too. We'll pick back up next week. For early listeners or for listeners 5 years from now that want to hear the very first episode and to see how far we've come, hope you enjoyed it. Please, review it, leave a comment, let us know, what do you want to hear more of, what did you like, what did you not like, etc. This is early stages for us, so we're finding our way.
Yeah, I agree. We love feedback.
Yeah, cool. All right, until next time, this was Packaged Opinions episode 1. That's it, the first one ever. We've done it. Yeah, and we'll be back next week for the next one.
Sure.
All right, cool. Hang on. Bye.